Today we're going to practice our counting in fives. So get your fingers ready, starting with 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Brilliant, well done. Let's do it again. I'm not going to speak this time. Ready? 60. Brilliant, well done. Okay, I want to know 6 lots of 5. 30. Well done. Now I'd like to know 11 lots of 5. 55. Excellent. Last one. 8 lots of 5. 40. Excellent work, everybody. Last lesson, we looked at one-to-one pictograms and how you can turn a tally chart into a pictogram. So we took one tally and turned it into one picture, and we looked at this example here. So one dog meant they'd seen one dog. If a tally chart has a lot of tallies in it, it can be hard to turn it into a pictogram using just one picture per tally. You would need a massive piece of paper. Instead, we can use one picture to represent a group of tallies. Here are some examples. So over here, this person was counting the number of chickens they had seen on their farm, and they saw so many chickens, they had loads of tallies. So they said, okay, I'm going to draw one chicken for every 10 chickens I see. So they turned 10 tallies into one chicken. So for example, on Thursday, they didn't see 1, 2 chickens, they saw 10, 20 chickens. Looking over here in bowling, they got some really high scores, so they decided to mean that one pin meant they'd actually knocked down 10 pins. So Eva didn't get 1, 2, 3 pins, she knocked down 10, 20, 30 pins. Some friends down here were playing football, and they decided that one football was going to mean 2 goals because they managed to score a lot of goals. So Rosie didn't score 1, 2, 3 goals, she scored 2, 4, 6 goals. You notice that they all had something called a key. My turn, key, key. A key is really important when making a pictogram because it tells us how many items each picture is worth. If we didn't have a key on this one, I might just think that on Monday they saw 2 chickens or 200 chickens. I have no idea. But thanks to the key, I know 1 chicken equals 10. So 10, 20. So a key is something really important to look out for when you're either making your own pictogram or trying to read somebody else's pictogram. It can be tricky to choose a key. So here is an example. And this girl logged each day how many minutes she spent reading in her reading record. But on Saturday, she read 55 minutes. She read so many minutes. She didn't want to sit and draw out 55 books, so she wants a key. Can you think of a key we could use? It needs to be a number that all of these numbers have inside them. What do you notice about these numbers? I spot that I've got some 10s, some lots of 10s, also got some 5s. All of these numbers are in the 5 times table, and some of them are in the 10 times table. So my key could either be 1 book means 10 minutes or 1 book means 5 minutes. That way I don't have to draw 55 books because that would take me a long time. So this girl has decided to use 1 book to mean 10 minutes. So let's think about that and have a look at Friday. On Friday, how many minutes did she read? Can you count that for me? So 1 book means 10 minutes. So 10, 20, 30. She spent 30 minutes. But if you remember, some days her numbers were not in the 10 times table, but they were in the 5 times table. And we know that 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So if I halved the number 10, I would have 5. So on Tuesday, she read for 10, 15 minutes. But so she couldn't draw one book, that's only 10, and she couldn't draw two books, that would be 10, 20. So she chopped one book in half to show that she meant half of 10, 15. So 10, 15. With that in your brain, can you have a look at Thursday? How many minutes did she read on Thursday? That's right, she read 10, 20, and then half, so 5. 10, 25, 25 minutes. So you have to check because sometimes in a key, it won't tell you that when it's chopped in half, that means it's half the number. So thinking about that, we're going to, as our first task, try and draw a pictogram for this tally chart. Year 2 sell cakes at a bake sale, and this tally chart shows the data. It shows how many they sold. I want you to draw a pictogram to represent the data. So I don't want you to draw a picture for every single tally. That would take you a long time. I want you to look at those tallies and think about what you could turn a group of them into. So you will need to draw a key to show what picture you're using and what it is worth. One thing I have spotted is that these are all in groups of 5. So maybe you could turn one tally group of 5 into a picture. Or maybe you can think of another multiple that you could use. Pause now and try to draw a pictogram for this tally chart. Okay, I'm going to show you mine now. So I decided to, you know how I said each group is worth 5? I decided to turn each group of 5 into a picture. So my key is that a cake equals 5 cakes. So it doesn't equal 1, 2, 3, 4. It equals 5, 10, 15, 20. One cupcake actually equals 5 cakes. So if you go back, you can see they're in groups of 5. So I've just turned a group of 5 into a cake. So just have a look at yours. Maybe you did the same, or maybe you decided to use 10s. That would also work, wouldn't it? Because we have some multiples of 10. But when you got to a 5, I hope you remembered to chop that picture in half. Send me a photo on Google Classroom so I can see how you got on. Let's answer some questions about my pictogram. So have yours in front of you, or you can look at mine on the screen if you think that yours wasn't quite right. The first question says, how many lemon cakes are there? So look at yours or look at mine, pause and work out how many lemon cakes were sold. Hopefully you looked down the type of cake, you found lemon and you used your key. So my key was counting in 5. So I counted 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. There were 35 lemon cakes sold. Question number 2. Which is the most popular flavour of cake, the one that sold the most? Pause, look at yours or look at mine. So on yours, maybe you could just see that on one you had drawn more. On mine, my drawings got a little bit squished together, but luckily I wrote the totals and I can see that the biggest number on my totals is 40. If I go across from 40, I land on carrot. So carrot was the most popular flavour of cake. This is really making me want some cake. Number 3, red velvet is the least popular flavour. True or false? Pause now and see, is that right? Is red velvet the least popular flavour? No, that is false, isn't it? If I look at red velvet, I can see that we sold 25 red velvet. But if I look on my list, that's not the smallest number. Because 20 is smaller. 20 has less ones. It is a smaller number. So that is false. Chocolate was actually the least popular. Can you believe it? Number 4, could a different key have been used? So if you used 5s or used another number, think about, was there a different key you could have used? I think I could have made each cake worth 10 and then halved any cakes where the answer ended in 5, like that first example we looked at. Your second job today is there is a quiz on Google Classrooms with some questions all about different pictograms. Remember to check the key really carefully, and if you spot a picture that's been chopped in half, that means you need to chop the number in half, divide it by 2. Good luck everyone, and don't forget to send me a picture of your pictogram.